Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review the new thriller, McVeigh. And this film is from director Mike Ott and writers Alex Giolakis, along with Ott, who co-wrote this film, and this focuses on the story of Timothy McVeigh, the domestic terrorist who, after Waco siege, wound up committing one of the deadliest acts of domestic terrorism in the history of the United States. And this film stars Alfie Allen of Game of Thrones fame. You have the likes of Brett Gelman and Anthony Carrigan and Tracy Letts thrown in there as well. And this 90-minute thriller is tight in terms of it's wound and wound with that tension. I think Ott is able to channel a lot of really great suspense along the way. This film is constantly unnerving with the sound design and just the feeling of something ominous is always underneath the surface. I think Alfie Allen gives a really fine performance here as somebody who feels so isolated and is so begrudging of the world around him. And I think this film navigates the conspiracy theories, the ideas that kept pushing and pushing and pushing this veteran, this individual, to the brink and sending him over the edge. And I don't think this film necessarily builds empathy, but I think it does a good job of showing this is what can happen to people when they're radicalized and really pushed. And you have the likes of Brett Gelman and Tracy Letts, who whenever they're on screen add some depth. This is a very different kind of performance for Gelman for sure, and I really appreciated what he brought to the table. Anthony Carrigan also much more reserved and subtle in his performance here, but also very significant. Tracy Letts, in the few scenes that he pops up, he's fantastic. The cast really works and sells this film. There's moments that are very tense, and you see some humanity here. Ashley Benson's character and her relationship with Timothy and how that shapes his perspective and all these different elements leading up to this point. Now, this is well crafted. It takes its time to build up suspense and tension. It makes a specific choice with how it handles the actions of Timothy McVeigh, and I think it did the responsible thing, but it also leaves this film without that proper punch. It really just feels like 90 minutes of build-up to something, and narratively, I think it leaves it pretty unsatisfying. And, sure, it's it leads up to the point where, yes, he makes the decision to go do this. And at the end of the day, that is the big choice. That is the big conflict of the film. Is he going to follow through with this plan? And we get to that point, obviously, because this happened. Not really spoiling anything, but how it chooses to do that. On some level, and I'm trying not to hold this against the film, but on some level, it's why did we have this film? And there certainly is a societal fascination with serial killers and mass murderers and people who've done such horrible things. And this film here is not trying to sympathize or empathize. It's trying to recontextualize how somebody could be pushed to this point. And I feel like that journey could have been stronger. I think the film certainly has some tense moments, but I really feel like it could have dug a little bit deeper in terms of what really pushed this man to this point. And the acting is really well done. There's strong character actors filling out this cast. You have Allen, who gives a really fine performance at the center. It's well crafted, it's well put together. It has those elements and it works perfectly fine. This just feels like it's lacking something narratively, thematically, to really push this over the edge. But for now, for a 90-minute thriller, I think it has enough working for it. But those are my thoughts on McVeigh. Let me know what you think and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.